Welcome back to the Journey of the Wheat Plant. Hi, I'm Sandra Wick, the Post-Rock District Crop Production Agent with K-State Research and Extension. We're out here in actually one of the Post-Rock Extension District demonstration wheat plots. We're out here in the Smith County plot, so you can kind of look at the background here and kind of see the wheat growth on that. And we're going to be sharing with you kind of some comparison. We were out in the wheat field about 5 weeks ago, so we're going to show you some pictures and have you compare the growth stage at that time and then now. Here shows you back in about mid-February when we were out here at the last with the Journey of the Wheat Plant. Not much growth on that wheat, if you can remember. There is some top growth, but as far as the stage of development, it was in the tillering stage, which is weeks 2 or 3. Slight or a little bit of a root growth on it. Maybe this plant over here had a little bit more root growth, but as you can see, not much top growth at that time. It was kind of struggling. If you remember, the wheat was kind of planted a little bit late. If it got in end of September, 1st of October, we're going to show you some wheat that maybe had a little bit more growth on it. Now, here is in early April, and you can see there's a lot more top growth on it. What this is very dependent on is when that wheat was planted, as I mentioned. If it was planted, end of September, 1st of October, you're probably looking at this top growth. These 3 plants right here. But there was a lot of wheat that wasn't planted until like mid-October. And so it doesn't have much growth on it. However, you need to remember to look down below the soil surface because we've got some differences in the amount of root mass that's on these plants. This happens to be one of the shorter top growth, but look at that root system on that plant. So that's got some potential here if we get some moisture. Then you've got another shorter plant that just doesn't seem like it has the root mass. So a lot of difference between this top growth now and what we showed previously. So what you'll need to do, take out your trusty little shovel and just go out and dig some plants and be sure you look down below the soil surface. Okay, as you can see here, we have separated out one of the wheat tillers here to show you a little bit more of the anatomy of that tiller, that wheat plant. This is the growing point. It may be hard to see, but we'll zoom in just a little bit here. But this is the tiller, and here would be your stem, and that growing point that we found was right above the soil surface or right at the soil surface. There were some pretty low temperatures that happened the first part of April. I've heard anywhere from 8 degrees up to maybe in the teens, 15. So with those temperatures and with the further or the wheat further behind in their development, it actually probably protected that plant because that growing point was down below the soil surface or right at the soil surface. We've zoomed in a little bit so you can see right at that growing point, and it may be kind of hard to see in this video, but what you're looking for is actually that tiny little head, and it's going to take like a 10 powered lens, a little hand lens, for you to see that. But this growing point will eventually move up the stem, up in the wheat plant, and come out that flag leaf, and that's what emerges as the wheat head. K-State Research and Extension has excellent resource materials for you in order to kind of review the stage of development of the wheat plant if you need some review at that time. There's an excellent wheat chart that shows you the different growth stages starting at tillering or when that plant emerges at weeks 1, clear time, down to when that wheat plant will mature at weeks 10. So this would be available either online or at any of our extension offices. Another reason why it's important to know your wheat stage of development is for applying herbicides or top dressing or fertilizing, and even adding a fungicide on it. A lot of the herbicides will express instructions that wheat plant needs to be fully tillered, so it's important that you go out there and examine that wheat so you don't cause any more problems by putting on that herbicide. Another excellent resource is the 2018 Chemical Weed Control book from K-State Research and Extension, and this is available on any of our extension offices or online as well. So please join us on our Facebook. and like us if you like these videos. Our website is www.postrock.ksu.edu. We will see you back here on the Journey of the Wheat Plant in a couple weeks, because as you know, this wheat plant can take off if we have the right conditions and moisture. So we will see you back in a little while.